The Indian BrahMos missiles are in high demand in Southeast Asia, and helping sell the BrahMos is none other than China due to its aggression and expansionist ambitions. DRDO Chairman Dr. Samir V. Kamath revealed, quote, Indonesia is interested. Other countries have also shown interest in BrahMos, including some in Middle East and some in Southeast Asia, unquote. So here's what's happening. Months after the Philippines became the first Southeast Asian country to receive Indian-made BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles in April 2024, Indonesia is now on the verge of signing a $450 million deal to acquire the Indian missile. Now, this would mark India's biggest ever defense export agreement, signaling a new chapter in India's role as a rising global defense supplier. The growing interest in BrahMos missile system among Southeast Asian nations, Vietnam and Malaysia included, is no coincidence. The CCP's expansionist strategies in the South China Sea or the West Philippine Sea, its assertive military posturing and utter disregard for a neighbor's exclusive economic zones has accelerated the demand for this reliable, high-precision deterrent from India. With a range of approximately 300 kilometers and speeds reaching Mach 3, the BrahMos offers an unparalleled combination of speed, accuracy, versatility, capable of being launched from land, sea and air platforms. These features make it an ideal deterrent against China's aggressive claims in the South China Sea as well as the Western Pacific Ocean. Beijing's expansionist approach, anchored in the illegal but so-called nine-dash line, has been a source of friction with almost all its neighbors. China has militarized artificial islands, increased its naval presence and engaged in repeated confrontations in this region, particularly with the Philippines, Vietnam and Indonesia. Given this scenario, the BrahMos missile is now viewed as an essential component of regional security. For India, supplying the BrahMos missile to friendly nations in Southeast Asia is more than just a business transaction. It's a strategic move to counterbalance China's influence. The Philippines, which received the first BrahMos coastal defense system last year, has already reported increased confidence in handling Chinese aggression and is now seeking additional BrahMos batteries from New Delhi. According to Captain D.K. Sharma, retired, a former Indian Navy spokesperson, he said, quote, BrahMos keeps the Chinese threat at least 300 kilometers away from its coastline, unquote. Indonesia, which controls key maritime choke points like the Malacca Strait, Sunda and Lombok Straits, finds itself increasingly pressurized by China's incursions into its exclusive economic zone. Under the leadership of President Prabowo Subianto, who was the chief guest at this year's Republic Day ceremony, Jakarta is accelerating its military modernization efforts. The likely signing of the BrahMos deal after this visit underscores Indonesia's commitment to strengthening its defense against regional threats with India's help. As retired Commodore Anil Jaisingh explained, quote, from Indonesia's perspective, as a strategically located nation, it provides a gateway between the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. All three choke points, Malacca, Sunda and Lombok, are in Indonesian waters. China, in an attempt to push its footprint westwards, has been troubling Indonesia by encroaching on its special economic zone. As an archipelagic state, Indonesia has a huge SEZ, and it is very difficult for it to patrol its region the entire time, unquote. The sale of BrahMos missiles to Indonesia and Vietnam after the Philippines will also be a strategic victory for Prime Minister Modi government's Act East policy, while helping New Delhi expand its strategic footprint in the Indo-Pacific. India's ability to successfully export the BrahMos missile highlights the country's growing stature as a reliable defense partner. Over the last decade, India's defense exports have surged from 686 crore rupees in 2013-14 to a record-breaking 21,000 crore rupees in 23-24. As Sushant Sareen, a senior fellow at think tank ORF, points out, India is not just selling weapons, it is reshaping the regional security architecture. Sareen notes, quote, by building up Indonesia's muscle, India is, in a way of speaking, also building up its own muscle in this region, unquote. Ironically, China's aggressive behavior is one of the biggest factors fueling the demand of BrahMos missiles. Reports indicate that between February 2023 and July 2024, the Philippines recorded at least 12 incidents of unsafe, unprovoked military behavior by China within its exclusive economic zone. Similarly, Indonesia has repeatedly clashed with Chinese naval forces over resource-rich waters near its Natuna Islands. These repeated confrontations have reinforced the urgent need for nations in this region to boost their military preparedness, and India is increasingly being viewed as a reliable counterbalance to Chinese aggression, as well as a source for economic, world-class defense equipment. The country's security and growth for all in the region doctrine prioritizes peace and stability in the Indian Ocean region. By equipping like-minded nations with state-of-the-art weaponry, India is ensuring that the balance of power in this region does not tilt disproportionately in China's favor. What do you believe? Should India increase its defense alliances in Southeast Asia? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.